is the last day, the last 2 days of this unit. Okay, and when we started this unit, we started with the idea that China, we saw with this map, that China had gunpowder and had a huge army and could have potentially taken over the world, and we said what stopped them. So what stopped them from going to India, for example? The Himalayan mountains. Okay, so we know that Indian food is very different than Chinese food. In China, I'm going to be eating dim sum and I'm going to be eating noodles. In India, I'm going to be eating samosas and I'm going to be eating curries. And they're very, very, very different. And then we talked about these deserts here stopping people from going west, which kept the Chinese all generally in this area right here. However, if that were true, then we wouldn't have a spread. If it were true, then Buddhism, which started in where? India would have never actually started in India, would have never gotten to places like Vietnam. What percentage of people in Vietnam are Buddhist? We took the lens in our field trip. 86%. Okay? Somehow, this idea that was in India, that started in India, got all the way to Vietnam. So Parnika and Suditi's great-great-great-great-great-great-grandma, Parnika and Suditi, or our ancestor, had something to do with Zwee's mom. Zwee, is your mother Buddhist?
What makes them push through the discomfort and risk their lives to explore new places?
Okay, think about it. I want you to go ahead. Imagine you're walking across a shivering cold mountain. Shiver for me. Now you're walking across boiling deserts. Pant for me. Now, why would you do this? Why would anybody put themselves through this? Why would they risk their lives? Why would they go ahead and put themselves through this discomfort? Why would they do this? Turn to your neighbor and tell them, why do you think people might do this? Why might people do this? All of us why? You had something, what do you have, Pete? To expand borders, to conquer the world, okay? What would be people's general motivation for doing that? Now, this is good. This is altruistic. This is good. But what is most people interested in doing?
Business.
Business, which means
Money.
which means money. Now let's go ahead and money right here. So money. What is it? Money.
I got money.
If you're going to ask people to risk their lives crossing deserts and climbing mountains, many of them will do it for money. Now, this is the game that we're going to play today. It has to do with a road that was used to make money. So I'm going to ask you, who in here, raise your hand, you've ever heard anything called the Silk Road? Just raise your hand if you've heard of it. Okay, turn to your neighbor. If you haven't, there's a couple from each table. Turn to your neighbor and tell them what you think you know about it. What do you think you know about it? All right. Now, who thinks they know a little bit about the Silk Road? What do you think it is?
I think that the Silk Road is a road to sell items.
Trade and sell items. Okay, anybody have another idea? Trade and sell items. Okay, what else? Anything else? What do you think, Ruben?
That they travel to get money.
Travel and get money. Okay? All right, today you're going to be playing a game that is based on the Silk Road. So we're going to start with Tim and Moby, and they're going to tell us a little bit more, and then we'll talk about the game.
Dynasty expanded its influence westward. Chinese merchants exported silk to the new territories.
Okay, so at this end of our road, we have these guys right here. Can you go ahead to the end and just hold up your sign for us? You are China. Give me a round of applause for China. And China has something, and to even it out, I'm going to go ahead and ask. We have 4, 4, 3. Can I just get a group of 4? Let's go ahead and have a Gat. Can you come on over here and join us real quick? It can be an honorary Chinese because today we have only today a couple more absent. You're the only ones who can make it. In fact, we're going to find out tomorrow that they guarded the secret to making silk so closely that if anybody was found explaining how to make silk, they were put to death, okay, by the Chinese. So the silk. Now silk does not grow, or the silkworm. Anybody know what he eats?
Yeah.
Mulberry leaves. You need mulberry leaves for the silkworm. They don't grow in other places. They do grow in Vietnam, but they don't grow over here in Rome. Now Rome over here, you guys at the other end of the road, you would love to get your hands on this silk, because silk is like the Christian Dior, the Donna Karan, the Versace of the day. It is the luxurious material of the day. It is what you want, and you are going to have something that everybody, even longer than silk in the world, have always wanted. What do you think you have to trade with these guys, with the Chinese? What do you think I'm going to give you that you'll be able to trade for silk with the Chinese? What thing of value does everybody else in the world generally want? What do you think? What'd you say? Jewelry, okay, which is made out of? Gold. I'm going to give you guys gold. You are the only ones with gold. You have 5 pieces of gold right here. 5 pieces of gold. You have gold. Now, you've got 5 pieces of gold. Now, let's imagine for a second that all you wanted to do, and you guys want to trade, let's go ahead and see how we can. Why can't we just do this? Can you stand up, Tricia? Can you stand up? Leanne? Just meet in the middle. Okay. And just meet in the middle and like you're going to trade. Now why? Go ahead. Now why though, is that actually not possible? Why is it actually not possible for them just to meet in the middle and make that trade? What would they be standing in if they were in the middle of that? Coco, what do you think they'd be standing in? If they're in the middle, if China goes west, the people in China go west, and the people in Rome go east, what are they in the middle of? They're in the middle of the Taklamakan Desert. It's filled with snakes, scorpions, sandstorms, boiling days, freezing nights, and almost no water. You would die. You cannot make the journey by yourself. You can't make it without needing these guys. Okay, can you head back? And I'm going to talk about what these guys are right now. What these guys are in a second. What are you guys? How can you guys help? You guys are oases, exactly. We'll go ahead and explain what that is in a second.
Yeah, that's why we call it the Silk Road now. Nobody back then referred. All along the Silk Road, traders would stop and rest at oases, areas with water and vegetation.
All right, areas with water and vegetation. You are oasis number 1, oasis number 2, oasis number 3. Now, if you do not have silk, and you do not have gold, okay? But you do have something that everybody needs. You have water. Now, what is in the middle of the desert? An oasis is an area of water, and it says you have vegetation. What is vegetation? What do you think vegetation is? What is vegetation? Plants. And what can you do with a lot of those plants? Eat them. So I'm going to give you something that everybody needs because you can't eat gold and you can't eat silk. So you guys don't have either of those. You're going to start out with 10 foods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 10 foods. So they will not be able to go ahead and make it the whole way. Tricia couldn't walk over to Leanne, and Leanne couldn't walk over to Tricia. It's too far. You would die in the middle of the desert. Okay, so you will have to stop at these places. Who in here likes spicy food? Now we got somewhere. Now we know. Now, if I go to Thailand, I know that the food is generally going to be spicier than it is going to be in Vietnam, okay, typically. So, what does that spice come from? Chilies. Now, what color chilies are the hottest?
Red.
Red. Somebody's got to teach you guys this. Got to explain to you that you can eat this. Explain to you that you can dry them up, you can chop it, and you can put it in food. It makes it hot. How can I grow more of those more of those chilies afterwards. Once I learn that they're great, how could I grow more?
You can, when you get one, get all the seeds.
Take the seeds out and plant it. Now, you're the only ones who know how to do this. But during your trades, can that knowledge move?
No.
Yeah, if that knowledge, if you trade, let's say you trade with China for silk, and you give them spices, then will they then have knowledge of how to go ahead and use chili, and how to use the chili? You passed on the spice and the knowledge. That makes sense? Okay, so we're going to play a game that involves trading. Now, you we're going to try to play, remember our goals, but to not die. We're going to try to play this game. We're going to see if you can get yourself and your group, if you can become rich or richer than you were by getting some of all of the items. You want some gold, you want some spice, you want some silver, and you want some, and most importantly, you want some silk. Rome started this game along with China because they wanted, you want the gold, they want the silk. Okay? We're going to play it in 45 seconds each turn, but to make it so it's not so chaotic, we're going to have holders here, which means Leanne is the only person who's holding. You got to give her all your items. She's the only one actually making the trade. You guys can give her advice. You guys can tell her what you think should happen, but she's the only one. Sweet trade. Ready, set, and start. You have to bring myself. Remember, you can talk to them. You can talk to them. Who you talk to? Okay, remember, you can.
No. One silver, one gold.